guys? It's Ryan from Functional Flex. I'm in the strength cave today, and I'm going to teach you about squats. Specifically, we're going to talk about what is the most optimal squat stance for you, and how can you take this knowledge to help everybody else. So I'm going to give you guys the breakdown. How do you get your squat stance, and then take it, get it in the gym, help other people, okay? Here's the thing, motivation for this video today is I'm looking online, part of a lot of forums, a lot of communities, fitness here, fitness there, all this shit, and I see this all the time. Video comes up, somebody's doing a squat, forum check, please. And then all of a sudden, 10,000 motherfucking replies. And I'm reading through the shit, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what? Oh, God, what the fuck? There's so many replies, you guys. It's turn your toes out, drive your knees out, drive your knees in, put a belt on, change your pre-workout, warm up better, stretch your hamstrings, stretch your calves, do jumping jacks, like all this crazy shit, you guys. So I'm just sitting here imagining what these people who are asking for this advice. First off, it's fucking great so many of you guys are voicing your opinion. Don't get me wrong. I love that shit. It's great that we're all engaged and we're trying to help each other. That is the fucking purpose of this, and I am so fucking inspired to see that. But the problem is, when these people go to this, you guys, they don't get help out of it. They look at the list, there's hundreds of replies, hundreds of different answers, everybody's voicing their opinion. Where do they start? It's overwhelming, you guys. So I'm just gonna teach you a quick, simple, easy drill you can do anywhere, anytime. It takes 2 fucking minutes. 2 minutes, and you'll have a good start to your squat stance, your squat position. You're gonna work on your mechanics. It's gonna be so much fucking easier. You guys are gonna love it. Before we get to the drill, you guys, what you need to understand are the differences, okay? What is important for you to understand is that there is no squat stance. There is no coaches, I'm talking to you. Friends, I'm talking to you. Internet gurus, I'm talking to you. There is no fucking squat stance. You cannot say, hey, well, your toes turned out a little bit. You better bring them in. You're gonna hurt yourself. You gotta squat this way, that way. It's fucking bullshit, you guys. There is no squat stance, okay? And the reason I say this is because we are all unique. You are different than me, and I am different than you. And everybody is different than everybody. There's nobody who's 100% exactly the same as anyone else on this fucking planet. So if that's the case, and we all would say that that's a pretty true statement, then why in the fucking shit of all fucks would you squat in the same position as everybody else? There is no squat stance. We're all individuals, okay? So you need to understand that. You also need to understand that we all have our unique ranges of motion dependent on our actual anatomical bone structures. So some people are literally designed to squat until their ass hits the goddamn floor. And some of us can barely get to parallel without fucking our backs up. And you know who you are. And the difference here is there's no right or wrong, you guys. There's just difference. We're all different. There's nothing wrong with going ATG. There's nothing wrong with going to 90. There is no half reppers. There is no fucking full range God squatters, okay? It is all individual and we're all different. You guys gotta understand that. And then, here's the other part. For you to train optimally, you cannot try to force yourself to be one or the other. So if you're an ATG squatter, you're designed to do that. If you're a half range squatter, if you get to 90 and that's all you got, you're designed to do that. If you try to go one or the other way and you're not designed for it, you're just gonna fucking get hurt, you're gonna get injured, you're gonna hate training. And nobody wants that shit, guys. I don't want that for you. I want you to love every second of this fucking shit. Difference, you guys, comes down to the anatomical bone structure of everybody. Since we decided we're all unique, we all have these different bone structures, joint structures, ligament structures, muscle structures. Everything's different and individual to us, right? It's unique. We decided this. So if that's the case, last time I checked, as much as I wish it was true, I am not yet Superman. And since I'm not yet Superman, I don't have X-ray fucking vision, which means I cannot see inside your body. I cannot see how deep your hip socket is. I cannot see your anatomical bone and joint structures. So therefore, I cannot dictate your squat stance without doing an assessment first. Okay, I can't just say, whoa, you should turn your toes in. They gotta be straight ahead. Your toes better be straight, and your back shouldn't do that. I can't do that shit, and nobody else can either, because none of you motherfuckers are Superman either. So, here's the difference, you guys. Take a look at this diagram. This is my fancy anatomy book. Here we go, pelvis, boom, acetabulum, this is hip socket. Okay, over here's a great illustration of this. This is the femur, neck and head going in to the acetabulum, the pelvis socket. You guys see that? Now this is a ball and socket joint we have. This is our hip socket. And what this does is this dictates the ability to squat. This dictates where our range of motion ends, if it ends at 90 or if it ends at ATG. It's different for everybody. We all have different lengths to the neck of the femur and different depths to the actual acetabulum. To highlight the differences of what we're looking at in the anatomy, you guys, this is the diagram. So let's take a look here. Right out the gate, you know who the fuck is making gains. It's pretty obvious this dude who's taking a shit like a dog is just causing himself injuries, not making gains. So what we're looking at here, guys, is our two most common hip capsule depths, right? So this one here, you see how this body right here maintains a low back lumbar extension. It's maintaining a neutral curve of the lumbar spine. This is a shallow hip socket here. This hip socket is shallow. So what happens is we have all this mobility as the femoral head sits into the acetabulum. There's more mobility here in that lever arm that allows for the body to achieve full range of motion right here without causing lumbar curvature, right? So the spine is staying neutral, the hips are sitting down, and you're getting into a good squat pattern. This is a pretty common thing for a good Olympic lifter, right? That's the kind of squat you see. Now we take a look at our other buddy over here. This guy has a deep fucking hip socket. So his femoral head's way up inside of his hip socket. So what happens to him is when he tries to go and squat like the Olympic lifter guy over here, his going bone on bone within seconds, much quicker than this, right? This guy, this person, this lady has not even achieved bone on bone. He's hit it now, and he's not getting deep. And what's happening instead is right here, low back rounding, okay? His low back's rounding. He's got deep hip socket, so he's hitting bone on bone with his pelvis and his femur. And then he's right here. This is what I like to call this low back shit going on. This is soul crushing fucking pain death. Soul fucking crushing pain death, you guys. This lumbar spine is going through flexion, extension. Because as he gets down into depth, trying to be like this person over here, his back's flexing, discs popping, bulging, and then when he stands up, it goes back to neutral. So he's flexing, extending his spine. If this dude can still squat, but if he starts to get up into heavy weights, or he squats for a lot of years like this, it's going to be back pain. It's going to be soul-crushing fucking pain death, okay? This is why we don't want to do it this way, and this is why he would be much better off squatting in parallel, a range where he does not get this rounded back, and he can continue to train for the rest of his fucking life. On the next diagram, what we're looking at is the actual bone structures, you guys. So we were talking about how the femoral head and the femoral neck go into the acetabulum, and at what depth, what lengths are these bones, right? So let's look at our example of what we just looked at that last diagram. Let's see now what the actual bone structure would look like for these two. So right here, this is our last guy, this is our last lady, whoever it was that maintained a neutral spine position through full range of motion squat, right? This is our ATG lifter. This is our deep, can sit down and eat a fucking dinner in a squat position, okay? So this person here, if you take a look at the hip socket, we're looking at this part here, acetabulum. We're seeing that this is a shallow position, right? So this bone structure here, the femoral head and the femoral neck, are going in there. Of course, they're in the hip socket, but they're not at the level of depth as this guy. So we're looking over here, we're seeing a much deeper bone structure here. Femoral head is deep in the socket, longer femoral neck, right? And what happens here is this person, since they have a shallower hip socket, they have more mobility, right? Because if there is less bone structure in the way, they can move up and down. So for example, this is a knee and squat. My elbow's a knee right now, going up and back down, right? So sitting all the way down into it, coming back up. Now, this person can do that. They have the mobility, they can probably get through all the way down to the bottom of a squat without hitting bone on bone. This person, on the other hand, our friend who has the deep, deep hip socket, what happens here is it's way inside, so you start to squat, you get to probably about 90, and then here it clamps down on you. So what happens next is your back rounds and you tilt under. When you run out of range of motion, something else will take the motion for you, and it's gonna be your fucking spine, guys. Ow! Nobody wants that shit, okay? So this is running bone on bone. This is getting through all the way to the bottom of the squat without ever hitting it. These are two totally different people, and they didn't dictate this. This is genetics, this is bone structure, this is human differences, you guys. Quit trying to think that everybody's the same. We're all different, we're all unique, and everything we do should be catered towards that. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, this leads to soul-crushing fucking pain. Say it with me, guys. Death. Say it with me. Soul-crushing fucking pain, death. If this person tries to squat like this person. The other differences to pay attention to, you guys, are gonna be the actual rotation of where the femoral head sits in the pelvis. So if we're in this position, we have really two options. We have anteversion, which means it's gonna be rotated more forward, or we have retroversion, which means it's gonna be rotated more backward. And again, this dictates this is gonna be different to the depth you can achieve in the squat. Another possibility would be the vertical position of the femoral neck. So, for example, somebody with a horizontal femoral neck is gonna be able to squat deeper, get more depth than somebody with a vertical femoral neck. So if we have someone with a vertical femoral neck, they're gonna go into squats and hit bone on bone much, much sooner. Now, the thing is, guys, all this anatomy, this is all backed up. This is research, this is real deal shit, and it's important for you to understand so that you can help yourself and you can help other people. Okay, now you've learned enough, you guys, that you are ready for the 2-minute fucking squat drill that's gonna change your life. All right, this is gonna be so useful for you to learn where you should squat, and it's gonna be so useful for anybody that you wanna try to help or anyone you know that needs help. So here's all you gotta do, 2 minutes, do it with me. We're gonna set up quadruped position. So what that means is I'm looking for a 90-degree angle here at the knee and the hip, okay? Then what we're gonna do is get the hands stacked right under the shoulders. So this is our quadruped start position. Now what we're gonna do is find a neutral spine. So what we gotta do to do that is we're gonna go into a full round. So what you do is tuck your ass underneath, emulating that shitting dog that we had earlier. Tuck your chin down and round your back as much as possible. So this is full flexion, okay? Easy to see that that's full flexion of the spine. From there, we're gonna do just the opposite. So I want you to push your chest down, pull your stomach towards the floor, and stick your ass out, bring your chin up. Full extension of the spine here. So we should have lumbar extension going on, fully extended. Now, you gotta find the in-between land. That's gonna give us the neutral spine. So just take your best guess, fully round, fully extend, hit the in-between. That's a good neutral start to be at, okay? So, now here's the drill. Simple and easy. All you have to do is line up your knees so they're underneath your body, and get your hands right under your shoulders, got your neutral spine, and we're gonna sit back now. So I want you to sit backward towards your heels. And I want you to pay a lot of attention to this area, the lumbar spine area. So if you feel that start to round, yes, you're gonna have to think about your own body a little bit. If you feel that start to round, you guys, that's when you stop. That's when the drill ends. So I'm in this position. I'm starting with my knees about shoulder width apart here. Feet are right under the knees. I'm gonna sit back, and almost immediately I can feel this rounding. I'm gonna go ahead and exaggerate it for you guys so you can see. Did you see my background? Okay. So what happened was, as I sat back, I hit bone on bone, and then it starts to round. End the game, end the game. If I squat in this stance, I'll be fucked for life. Okay, so do that. Maybe this works for you. If it does, you know you have a more shallow hip socket. So the next step, if you were like me and you hit bone on bone quick, you're gonna reset, get in your good position, get your neutral spine, widen up your knees. So we're gonna go just about, 2-3 inches out. Toes are gonna be just underneath the knees. So essentially now we're a little wider than shoulder width. Same drill, maintain that neutral spine, sit back, see what happens. Okay, so I got a little further here. Here's right where it's gonna start. So now if I sit back further, you're gonna see my back round. So you see how that happens? I am still not yet wide enough. Have not found the best spot for my hip structure. Okay, so I'm gonna neutralize it back up, come up, widen my stance up even more. So I'm now gonna be pretty wide compared to where we've been. Okay, so my feet and knees are considerably outside shoulder width. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, and you'll see now I'm in it. This is deep, my back isn't rounded yet, and this is my squat stance, you guys. I've squatted like this for years. And whenever I've tried to squat like the Olympic lifters with a narrow stance and all that shit, all it causes me is back pain. So, there's the drill. You guys simply gotta break it down, figure out what your optimal pattern is. Alright, so you just readjust your stances. Now, here's what I would do. After you figure that out, take it to the gym and practice it. Learn it, do it, okay? And this is nice, easy 2-minute drill. You can do this before your squat warm-up or your squat day. You can figure out where your stance is. And I highly, highly, highly suggest you start doing this soon, you guys, because it's real important that you do not take your back through spinal flexion and extension when you do these squats, okay? So if you were good at neutral, good for you. Here's the thing, you guys, we're all different. None of these are bad. Nobody's having a medical issue. Nobody's in a bad position. It's not bad that you can only squat halfway down or whatever. It's not halfway down. It is just your range of motion. Stop thinking about squats as they only can be ass to grass, up and down. Everybody's unique. Everybody has their own squat. Everybody has their own range of motion. And it doesn't matter where you are. What matters is that you optimize for your body and yourself, and you're training the best way for you. Don't listen to these fucking internet gurus and these motherfuckers in the gym telling you you're doing shit wrong. Go into this drill, get in your body, feel your body, and your body will tell you it's right. You guys will be able to feel this, you'll be able to find this out, and then you're gonna be able to teach other people, which is important because we gotta give people this knowledge. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys checking out my shit. Please subscribe to this channel so you can keep getting these updates, you can keep getting all this cool shit I'm doing. Give me some suggestions, some stuff you guys want to see. Head over to the social medias, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Functional Flex. Website, functionalflexfitness.net. You can contact me via email, ryan.milton@functionalflexfitness.net. And I'm always available everywhere for questions. You guys send me your stuff. Send me questions about what you got going on in the gym, some stuff you want answered. I am more than willing to help you out. Okay, so contact me, find me, follow my shit, because I'm going to give you a lot of free information. You guys fucking rule. It's Ryan from the Strength Cave, signing off.